Okay, so here are the parts that go to this. Let me get that right there. Here we go. These are the parts that go with the chandelier. You got this part here, which is the bottom, goes on the bottom of the chandelier. This, which is the stalk, which connects the wheel up to the top of the light. This piece would be for the top, this would be for the bottom of the light, and this is the piece that covers this up when you install it on the light. So you basically take this, basically looking at this picture, as you see the swell at the bottom here, this is going to be your bottom. So you're going to place it onto this just like this, and that's how that will go on when you actually go to assemble the light. Okay, so this is the actual wagon wheel itself. You've got the top collector piece, which all the lights and chains come into. This is the point where you attach the stalk to the base, which is down here. You'll put it under the base there. That hole passes through, and then you'll actually put the bottom piece on. So now I'll show you how we do each one of those pieces. Okay, so now we've got these two pieces, as I said. So I'm going to take the piece, the cover, and put it over top of the actual stock piece there. Now I'm going to actually attach this tube right here, which is inside this little metal, they're called nipples, metal nipple to the base of the receiver for that nipple. So basically all you got to do is take this piece and screw that into there and get it hand tight, and you should be fine. When you tighten it, you're going to hold the base typically right down here, and just get it tight. So I'll go ahead and line that up now and show you. Okay, so it's now attached. It can be a little tricky getting this to actually thread in there because the nipple runs in the middle and it can flop around. So just look at what you're doing kind of close when you try to attach the nipple to the adapter, and you should be fine. But now that I've got that in, you can see I got a little bit of slack down here, so I'm going to go ahead and take this and hand tighten that in place, and then that will make it tight enough to hold to the fixture. So I'll go ahead and pause here. Alright, so that's it. That's attached now. It doesn't have to be super tight, just tight enough. If you get any dings on here on the finish while you're doing this, what you can do to cover up any dings is use a black Sharpie marker and just go ahead and like rub it on wherever you see a spot, and it will blend in pretty well and you'll never notice it. Just one of those little tips for when you're dealing with this kind of stuff. Things do happen. So I will now go ahead and take this, and the next step we want to do is pick it up and place it right like that. And now it's ready to go. Now you can see I'm sitting this on top of a trash can. It's kind of easy to handle because when I flip this over, the trash can is going to actually hold this in place and make it easier to handle. You can do it however you want. This is just how I get it done. So now I'm going to go and flip it over, and I'll show you the last piece we assemble. Okay, now I've flipped this over, and now we're looking at the actual side of the light that will face down to the floor. You can see that now that I've placed that stalk on the other side, you can see that there's actual receiver for the nipple now. So we will now take this other piece, which is right here, the bottom bell. It's like a bell. And we'll go ahead and actually attach that nipple to the hole that's down in there. So just go ahead and pause it here. Okay, and just like the top, it can be a little tricky to get those two things to match up. There's not a lot of slack, but there's enough, so you should be able to get it to go fine. And we just hand tighten it. Yeah, again, it doesn't have to be super tight. When you hang the fixture, the weight is going to pull up on the stock and on the chains, and it's going to actually all kind of work together to support the structure and support the lights and everything. So as long as it's reasonably tight, you'll be fine. So now I'll show you the finished product here. Okay, so here's the finished product with everything actually put together. So you can see all the parts are there. It's all hanging together. The chains in the middle are supporting everything. And that's what it should look like when you're done. It shouldn't be too bad. Any questions, of course, go ahead and contact me as you did on Facebook, and I'll help you out. But it shouldn't take too long, 15-20 minutes typically. It's going to take longer to get it out of the box than it is to actually put it together, probably. All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Another thing I wanted to let you guys know about was how you put these the jars on. So basically we have these gold rings here. You're going to hold this ring with your hand like I'm doing now, and then use the other hand to tighten the jar, and so you're not going to let the ring spin, and that way you can line up the jar. The other thing is with the sockets, when you're putting a bulb in, always hold the socket with one hand and tighten with the other. Tighten the bulb with the other, because if you don't, then these things can spin around, they can shear, they can cut connections, things can happen. These are in tight, and just you know, for longevity's sake, you want to be sure you're not putting unnecessary stress on things like that.